Hi my teachers, educators, principals. In this episode, we are going to see a very interesting topic, learning poverty. We know what poverty means, no money. It is to do with finance, it is to do with resources. But what is learning poverty? And how the issue of learning poverty is related to teaching and empowering students. I was shocked to see statistics recently. India's literacy rate is about 74%. Leaving a quarter of the population without basic reading and writing skill. How does it affect? Actually, I shared this in a different forum when I had to talk to some parents on what makes children to blossom into their dream world and what prevents them. If you cannot read and write, then there is no question of acquisition of knowledge and skill. So poverty and literacy are closely linked, isn't it true? The higher you study, the more you specialize, the more is going to be the economic value, the monetary value for your time. Make a note of this, monetary value for your time. Why is that? A surgeon is paid this much salary and another expert surgeon is paid X times more salary. And with second largest population in the world, India is home to 1/3 of all the poverty. 1/3 of the world poverty. Sad, isn't it? Around 900 million people in the world cannot read and write. 287 million or 37 of the world's illiterate people are Indians according to UNESCO. 22% of the Indians fall below the poverty line. 22%. That means every fourth person you meet on the road below the poverty line. It has been estimated that more than half the India's population lacks even basic literary skill. India's poverty situation is improving, but the problem related to poor health and sanitation, low levels of education, unemployment and malnutrition remains. Now I will reveal the basis of this. If I go into the details, if you really look at it, look at this. Learning poverty. What is learning poverty? If a child cannot read age appropriate text by 10 years, the chances are that the child's learning curve will plateau and he will not be able to pick up knowledge. There are a lot of news items, we talk about Right to Education Act, where every child has a right to education. And so what the government, the policy makers say, do not detain any student till the 8th standard. As an educator, as a head of a school, I know and you all know how this interferes with the functioning of a school. Just imagine, for 8 years if a child is not picking up knowledge, 9th year you ask the child to pick up all the knowledge he should have picked up for 8 long years and we want him to pass the board exam. But if you look at the intention, the moment you say testing, the moment you say pass fail, the children drop out. You know why? Not because there is going to be education related exam, but because they are not able to read. You tell me, how do you teach a subject? you are able to read, so what is learning poverty? You are able to see, you have to see the letter, you should be able to see the combination of letter which mean words. Then the child should be able to see the combination of words which is a sentence, and the child should read a combination of sentence which is a paragraph fluently, and the child has to comprehend, understand, keep it in the mind, write it. So the fundamental thing is not able to read leads to learning poverty. This is the foundation on which the further lines of learning are to be built. Now this is a very alarming situation, and it also talks about how this poverty or the learning poverty is distributed all over the world. It says the World Bank reports uses the data for 2017 for India, the annual status of education report. Only 50.3% of class 5 children can read a class 2 level of textbook. That means half the children. Without reading, without comprehension, the classroom becomes difficult, and so dropout. And because of dropout, we say no exam. So what the educators, the teachers, the principal should think about is a strategy to ensure that the children are able to basically read a text. Then you will ask me, why is this? You know, in management science we talk about cause effect. There are two things: available time and productive time. Honestly tell me, compared to 30 years ago and now, do the children have enough time to study, to read? No, many of us are saying that the reading habit is coming down. Reading habit and education are closely related. Without time to read, how are you going to comprehend? How are you going to understand? And why is the reading habit coming down? Why is the reading time coming down? Does it mean the time has shrunk? We have the same 24 hours. The answer to this question is distractions. I am going to link all this to NLP in the next few minutes time. With the advent of technology, with the growth of gadgets in the hands of students and everybody, the time is taken away by this. Next time when you are traveling, whenever, wherever, you look at what people are doing. The smartphone has replaced the book. The not so smartphone, which means a telephone which received only the telephone messages, is more smart if you look at it from this point of view. The more smart people use less of smartphone. I will put it this way. So this is one of the reasons. The other reason is Facebook, media. The number of students getting addicted to do these two things is going up geometrically. They become so addicted. In fact, I do a lot of counseling on this telephone addiction and media addiction. A parent tells me, what do I do, sir? The child is behaving violently. You know, some of those drug addicts, you know, if they don't get the access to drugs, they will even do murder. And all of us know about this. Boys especially. From 7th standard onwards, they have access to two-wheelers. Time flies like anything. That's why I am telling you, this is the cause, this is the effect. And Instagram, website, internet, friends, that takes away a lot of time. So as educators, we need to be concerned about learning poverty in a different perspective. So, the responsibility is for having or coming out with such a strategy which will help children to fight these problems. And that is the reason I am going to discuss with you the presuppositions of NLP. So, in what context we are talking about? The context is the children do not spend enough time in reading. In fact, I keep telling in my student seminar, in personal interviews with the grown-up children, college students, counseling, one-to-one counseling, if you are around the 9th standard, 5 hours of reading time, in addition to doing homework, in addition to doing the class work. When the child is around the 10th standard, 1 more hour. When the child is in the higher classes, 1 more hour. If you do not have that much available time for a productive use, this is going to be the problem. Now, I explained to you already the presuppositions or these are the presuppositions. NLP is to do with the mind, the brain and the intellect. I mentioned to you some time back. NLP is that bridge which conducts an integration of the mind and the brain. Neuro, linguistic, programming. So, how do we talk to the children so that they are able to have a more productive thoughts? I am going to discuss lot of presuppositions, about 9 of them. I will briefly go through that and I am going to give you a case study. The first presupposition is mind is not the territory. I will run through the 9 presuppositions, then we will take that case study and start discussing. The second presupposition is experience has a structure. For the time being, you make a note of this, I will elaborate it a little while later. The third presupposition is, if one person can do something, anyone can learn to do it. The fourth presupposition is, the mind and body are part of the same system. The fifth presupposition is, people have all the resources they need. The sixth presupposition is, you cannot not communicate. You cannot not communicate. Note the double negative there. We will know as we proceed what it means, the presupposition means. Presupposition number 7 is, the meaning of your communication is the response you get. The 8th presupposition is, underlying every behavior is a positive intention. And the 9th presupposition is, people are always making the best choices available to them. Make a note of these 8 presuppositions and then we will start discussing how this can be remedied. Now let me give you a case study. Long ago, year 1997, I underwent the Advanced Practitioners NLP course from NLP Comprehensive, Colorado, United States, a 4-week course. I come home and my wife was at that time a teacher in an aided school. And I explained to her how this NLP can be used to transform people, how we can program the mind of a child. She was very excited. Then a few weeks later, she said, there is one student in the class who is irregular to class. The child will not come out of 26 days. The child will hardly come for about 4 or 5 days. And she asked me, can your NLP help? I said, why not? So I asked the child to come. It was one Sunday evening. Sometime in the month of December, it was quite chilly those days. And the student was sitting there about 6 feet in front of me. I was there, my wife was also next to me. The first question I asked the child is, how are you? He said, uncle, I'm fine. Is there any problem? The child said, no problem. This is exactly the problem. The problem is he is not going to school. Then I asked him, okay, no problem, means no problem, fine. Then I asked, which class are you studying? The child said, sir, I'm the 8th standard. And I said, I was told that you are not going to class. He said, yes, sir. Why? He said around, so 1:30, those days he was having a shift system, 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 5 o'clock was the school those days. And he said around 1:30 I don't feel very comfortable, I feel giddy, and so I abstain from class. I said, fine, you don't have to go to class. When I said you don't have to go to class, I was able to find a big change, a shift in his face, okay, because he thought I'm going to give him a lot of advice, go to school. Then I asked him, tell me about your family, where is your father working? He said, sir, he is only a mason, and so he is doing, sir, but I love my father. And what's your mother? Housewife, sir. How many brothers and sisters have you got? He said, I'm the eldest son, I got 2 sisters after me and the youngest brother, okay. Do you have your own house? No, sir, rented house only, okay. Then I said, okay, don't go to school. You don't have to go to school. Then he started thinking, what do I mean by that? Then I said, Mr. So-and-so, now we are in the month of December. Just imagine one more month goes like this, what happens? So I said, bring your chair up by 1 foot. So he drags his chair nearer to me by 1 foot. And January, sir, what do you see? He said, my other students are all getting ready for the exam. Have you gone to school the last 1 month? He said, no. I said, no problem. 1 more foot. Then comes nearer to me by 1 more foot. And what's the time now? How much have you traveled in time? Sir, we are in the month of February, sir. Mind you, I did not do any mesmerism, I did not do any hypnotism. I only used that space as a marking of time. What's happening? I said, all my friends are reading, sir, I don't know what to do. Okay, no problem. Come nearer. Then he came nearer. Where are you now? He said, March. So what's happening? He said, I'm in the classroom. Those days, in the middle of March, exams will start. I have the question paper and I don't know any answer. Okay, no problem. Then I said, let's say that 1 more year goes or 1 more month goes. What's happening? He said, sir, my friends have got promoted to class 9, I am still there. Okay. Are you feeling happy? No, sir. I said, no problem. Let 1 more year go. What happens? He said, sir, my friends have gone to the 10th standard, I am still in the 8th standard. Okay, no problem. By that time, he started thinking a lot. And then I said, let's say that 3-4 more years travel, pass. Where are you now? He said, all my friends have studied, they completed the school. They have studied diploma, some of them degree. I am still in the school, struggling, sir. Okay. Let 2 more years go. What happened? Sir, I am in the mid-20s. I am struggling a lot. All my friends have gone out, grown. This time, he was sweating. Mind you, we were in the December month, quite cold. And I felt his fingers were very, very cold. Later on, we are going to discuss there is a close connection between the mind and the body, part of the same system. I said, okay, go back. And then I said, it is for you to decide how you want to plan your time. I gave him 2 pieces of paper. I said, in 1 piece, you write, you visualize yourself, no change in your behavior, You continue not to go to school, and couple of years pass, but 8-9 years pass. You yourself said that all your friends by that time would have qualified and employed. You are not. Keep that picture in mind. And another picture, you decide from sometime maybe next week to become more focused on education, and 8 years you will also be as comfortable with your friends. I said, write these 2 pieces of paper, whatever you want. So he wrote, in one paper he wrote, I don't want to go to school, blah blah blah. Then the other school he wrote, I would love to change my approach to education. I really want to be regular, pass out and as comfortable with my friends. I looked at both of them, identical piece of paper taken from a notebook. I folded both of them, gave it to him. I said, I'll give you 5 minutes time, think about it. You can destroy one of them. He went through that. Believe me when I say he took 10 solid minutes to decide which paper to destroy. And then he destroyed one piece paper and handed over the next one. I was having my BP going up. I don't know which he has destroyed. I opened that paper where he had written, I want to go to school, I want to get qualified, I want to settle down in life. I know education alone can give me this edge over others. Then I told my wife, done. She asked me, what do you mean? I think he will change. Then next day morning I go to Hyderabad to do a program. I telephone her evening, 5:30. Did the child come to class? She said, no. I said, what happened to my NLP? What happened to my programming him? Next day, it was a 3-day program. Next day also I checked. She said, no. Third day also he did not come. But I was very confident about my approach. 10 days later, my wife tells me that he at last came to the class, took the test. For the first time in his life, he scored about 60% average in all the papers. This happened about 8-9 years ago, more than that. I am talking about 1997, around that. This boy is now an engineer. And I met him a week ago somewhere and he recalled this conversation. How did this transformation take place? From a student who was not wanting to go to class to his becoming an engineer. I will explain this case with all the presupposition I talked about just now. Wait for the next episode.
SRMJV is not just a school, it's a one-time experience.
VM Nagar, Tiruvallur,